Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel, Canada Immigration. We hope you're doing great. In this video, we will talk about Canada's new study permit capping and spousal work permit changes. In recent months, Canada has introduced significant changes to its immigration policies, particularly affecting study permits and spousal work permits. As the country continues to position itself as a top destination for international students, new capping measures aim to manage the influx while ensuring a quality educational experience. At the same time, adjustments to spousal work permit regulations promise to enhance the support available for families of international students. This video will delve into the implications of these changes, exploring how they impact prospective students and their partners, as well as the broader landscape of Canadian immigration. If you are interested in this topic, to get all the information, pay attention and watch the video through to the end. Please hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to push the notification bell for an upcoming video. So, without any further delay, let's jump into the video. New study permit capping and spousal work permit changes. Canada is taking significant steps to tighten its immigration policies for international students. As of September 18, Immigration Minister Mark Miller announced new measures that will see a reduction in the number of study permits and spousal work permits for 2025 and 2026. These changes follow an earlier cap announced in January 2024, which sought to moderate the influx of international students and their families. Let's break down how these two announcements compare and what they mean for international students planning to study in Canada in the coming years to clear up the arising confusion. Further reduction in study permits. In a further tightening of policy, the September 18 announcement sets an even more stringent cap for 2025 and 2026. Canada will issue up to 437,000 study permits annually, around 10% fewer than in 2024 and 36% fewer than in 2023. What's more, this cap will now include master's and doctoral students, meaning fewer exemptions will be granted. Graduate students who were previously exempt from the cap will now face the same scrutiny as undergraduate and diploma program applicants. Over the next 3 years, the government aims that this cap will result in approximately 300, easing some of the pressures on housing, labor markets, and other critical infrastructure. In January 2024, Canada announced for the first time a cap on welcoming several new international students in a given year, a 35% reduction compared to the influx in 2023. This was the government's first serious attempt to manage the soaring number of international students entering the country. The goal was to moderate growth and address strains on infrastructure, housing, and labor markets. Notably, master's and doctoral students, along with elementary and secondary school students, were exempt from the cap announced in January, but September's announcement is aimed at bringing them under the cap as well. A new focus on graduate students. A key element of Canada's new approach is a targeted focus on attracting highly skilled, high-potential students. While the overall number of study permits will decrease, Canada is reserving 12% of the capped study permits for graduate students, including those pursuing master's and doctoral degrees. According to the government, these students are more aligned with the country's economic needs, especially in areas like research, technology, and specialized industries. This focus is intended to help Canada meet its long-term labor market needs. Graduate students typically have higher employment prospects and are more likely to integrate into the Canadian workforce after graduation. By prioritizing these students, Canada aims to maintain a competitive edge in the global talent pool, despite reducing overall international student numbers. Stricter rules for spousal open work permit eligibility criteria. The September announcement further narrows eligibility for spousal work permits. Shortly, exact date not specified yet, spouses of international students in doctoral and certain master's programs, as well as select professional programs, will no longer automatically qualify for open work permits. This move is designed to reduce the number of temporary residents entering the Canadian workforce through this route. Over the next 3 years, it is anticipated that this change will result in approximately 50,000 fewer work permits being issued to spouses of students. Additionally, the government will restrict spousal work permit eligibility for spouses of highly specialized workers and professionals. Only the spouses of workers in critical sectors such as healthcare, construction, and key specialized professions will remain eligible. This decision is expected to reduce work permits by approximately 100,000 over the next 3 years. By prioritizing sectors with the greatest labor shortages, such as healthcare and engineering, the Canadian government aims to ensure that the spouses who are granted work permits contribute meaningfully to the economy. The cap reflects a broader intention to align immigration policy with Canada's economic needs and workforce priorities. Already fewer international students in 2024. While the new policies are slated for 2025 and beyond, early signs suggest that the cap introduced in January is already having a substantial effect on international student arrivals in 2024. From January to August 2024, Canada saw a 38% decrease in international student arrivals compared to the same period in 2023. This amounts to 200,000 fewer international students entering the country, which aligns with the government's goal of easing pressure on housing, infrastructure, and employment markets. By reducing the overall number of international students, Canada is seeking to address several critical issues that have emerged as a result of the country's open immigration policies. These include an overheated housing market, stretched municipal resources, and competition in the labor market, particularly for entry-level jobs. A shift in Canada's immigration strategy. The September 2024 announcement signals a significant shift in Canada's immigration policy. Previously, international students were seen as a critical pipeline for future permanent residents, contributing to both the country's economy and population growth. However, by including temporary residents in the country's immigration planning levels, the government is taking a more cautious and measured approach. The new annual target for international students and the introduction of stricter spousal work permit rules highlight Canada's efforts to balance the benefits of international students with the challenges of managing infrastructure and labor market demands. The post-graduation work permit program will also see adjustments to better align with economic priorities, focusing on students whose skills are in high demand in Canada. By retaining the flexibility to adjust these targets based on evolving labor market needs, the government aims to ensure that the influx of international students aligns with Canada's capacity to accommodate them, both in terms of housing and employment. What these changes mean for prospective international students. For international students, especially those aspiring to study in Canada at the undergraduate level, these policy changes represent a significant shift. Competition for study permits is likely to intensify as the number of spots decreases, particularly for those seeking degrees in fields that are not directly aligned with Canada's economic needs. Graduate students, while still affected, may find some relief in the 12% allocation reserved for their group, but even they will face new challenges in obtaining spousal work permits. As Canada tightens its immigration policies, students considering higher education in the country will need to plan more carefully. When deciding on education and employment opportunities in Canada, it will be crucial for both students and their families to be aware of the government's priority sectors and fields of study. Canada's new study and work permit policies represent a turning point in its approach to international students. By reducing the overall number of permits issued and prioritizing highly skilled students and workers, the government aims to address critical economic and infrastructure challenges while still attracting top talent. As these changes come into effect in 2025, prospective students and their families will need to adapt to a more competitive and targeted immigration environment. As Canada navigates these new changes to study permits and spousal work permits, prospective students and their families need to stay informed. Understanding the intricacies of these policies can not only aid in better planning but also enhance the overall experience of studying and living in Canada. By adapting to these developments, students and their spouses can maximize their opportunities in this vibrant, diverse country, ultimately contributing to the rich tapestry of Canadian society. That is all for today. In this video, what are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later, in the next video. Till then, take care.